From Disney darlings to global powerhouses, these women have rewritten their stories in ways you won't believe. Selena Gomez just stepped into married life with Benny Blanco, balancing rare beauty's empire with whispers about her music future. Zendaya is dazzling audiences from Spider-Man reunions with Tom Holland to her epic role in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Miley Cyrus is healing old wounds while dropping soul-stirring tracks like Dream as One for Avatar, Fire and Ash. Ariana Grande shines as Glinda in Wicked for Good, even as health setbacks remind fans of her resilience. And Emma Watson, forever Hermione, now commands headlines with her Oxford pursuits and fearless activism. Take a deep breath, because seeing them now is nothing short of breathtaking. Do you remember Zendaya? What she looks like now will leave you stunned. Zendaya Marie Stormer Coleman was born on September 1, 1996, in Oakland, California. She first rose to public attention on the Disney Channel as Rocky Blue on Shake It Up. Zendaya released her self-titled debut album, Zendaya, in September 2013. One of her most transformative roles has been Rue Bennett in HBO's Euphoria. For this role, she won 2 Emmy Awards. She also played MJ in the Spider-Man film series, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home. Over the years, Zendaya has built a strong reputation as a fashion icon. She's worked with major luxury brands and has been a global ambassador, including for Louis Vuitton and Bulgari. Zendaya is known for creative, bold red carpet looks and often makes headlines with her wardrobe choices. She is engaged to actor Tom Holland, her co-star, and despite her fame, she often discusses balancing her public life with a sense of groundedness and privacy. Zendaya is set to star and produce in a Ronnie Spector biopic titled Be My Baby, directed by Barry Jenkins and produced by A24. Zendaya is expected to return for Spider-Man Brand New Day, slated for 2026, while she's skipping some high-profile events like the 2025 Emmys due to her heavy filming schedule. Her upcoming slate suggests she's more active than ever. Zendaya has grown from a Disney kid into a globally respected actress and style authority. With major films on the horizon and her ongoing influence in fashion and entertainment, Zendaya is clearly not slowing down. Do you remember Miley Cyrus? You won't believe her transformation. Miley Cyrus was born on November 23, 1992, in Franklin, Tennessee. She is the daughter of country singer Billy Ray Cyrus and his wife Tish. She rose to fame on Hannah Montana, 2006-11, on the Disney Channel, playing a character with a double life. Teen girl by day, pop star by night. As a young teen, she revealed she often started her days around 5:30 a.m. doing interviews, shoots, and more. Her early solo albums, like Breakout 2008, helped her move beyond just being Hannah Montana. The Bangers era, 2013, was a major turning point as her album leaned into more adult, provocative themes. Songs like We Can't Stop and the viral Wrecking Ball marked her shift. The bold transformation came with criticism and intense media scrutiny, and she later reflected that she was very young when she made decisions that shocked many. She hasn't done a big tour since her 2014 Bangers tour. In a recent interview, she said it's not due to ability, but because she doesn't have the desire anymore, partly due to mental health and the emotional toll of life on the road. As of 2025, she's teasing something special for the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana, showing she's come to appreciate the role's significance. She said she felt like she was the first person to maybe ever be canceled because of how harshly her behavior was judged during her transformation. She launched her 9th album, Something Beautiful, which isn't just a record, but a visual album. The project is inspired by Pink Floyd's The Wall, and she describes it as a pop opera focused on healing. Her style for this era is very deliberate in promotional visuals and the film. She's using archival couture pieces, Thierry Mugler, Jean-Paul Gaultier, etc., to give timeless, elevated feel. Do you remember Ariana Grande? Here's what she looks like now. Ariana Grande was born on June 26, 1993. She started her career on Nickelodeon, playing Cat Valentine on Victorious. Over time, she transitioned into a hugely successful music career, releasing multiple studio albums and becoming one of pop's biggest voices. For years, Ariana was known for her signature high ponytail and darker brunette hair. But in 2025, she revealed a big change. She moved to a rich chocolate brown auburn tone. Earlier, during the Wicked press tour, she had very light, almost platinum blonde hair as part of her Glinda look. At the 2025 Golden Globes, she debuted a warmer, darker blonde high ponytail, which was a nod to her role as Glinda, while also signaling a shift away from that era. At the 2025 Oscars, Ariana leaned into soft pink tones like pearl scient gloss. Her red carpet aesthetics continue to show a more mature, polished vibe, blending her pop roots with a grown-up elegance. Ariana co-wrote and co-directed a 26-minute short film called Brighter Days Ahead, released March 28, 2025. In the film, she plays an elderly version of her character, Peaches, complete with prosthetic wrinkles, gray hair, and aged makeup. Fans have noted how this work represents a more cinematic, introspective Ariana. She's not just making music, but she's making art. Despite her busy acting career and film work, Ariana stresses that music is still her lifetime. Ariana has announced the Eternal Sunshine Tour for 2026, but she has hinted that it could be her final performance before a longer break from touring and heavy stage music. She received her first Oscar nomination, Best Supporting Actress, for playing Glinda in Wicked. Through her short film, she's stepping more into roles behind the camera and co-creating and directing, not just performing. Her 2025 aesthetic feels like a new chapter, more grounded, mature, and emotionally layered than the past pop eras. Do you remember Emma Watson? Her evolution will take your breath away. Emma Charlotte Dwyer Watson was born on April 15, 1990 in Paris and raised in Oxfordshire, UK. She began acting at a young age, appearing in school plays, and was cast as Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter film series after auditioning multiple times. She starred in all 8 Harry Potter films, 2001 to 11, which made her a global household name. Even during her Harry Potter years, Emma prioritized education. She later attended Brown University, earning a bachelor's degree in English literature in 2014. She also studied at Oxford University for her master's, showing that her academic life has always mattered deeply. After Harry Potter, Emma took on more mature and diverse roles like The Perks of Being a Wallflower and The Bling Ring. Her last major film role so far was Meg March in Little Women 2019. Emma has long been an advocate for gender equality. In 2014, she was appointed a UN Women Goodwill Ambassador and helped to launch the He for She campaign. She also pushed for sustainable fashion and collaborated with ethical clothing brand People Tree and has been involved in eco-conscious fashion initiatives. On the corporate side, she served on Kering's board, the luxury group, to push for better sustainability practices. Emma hasn't acted in a film since Little Women 2019, and in 2025, she opened up about why. She described the promotional side of acting and having to sell each project as soul-destroying. She has said that she deeply misses the creative and performance aspect, but not the constant public pressure and emotional cost. In interviews, Emma revealed that the grueling work schedule, long days, constant public scrutiny, led her to pause. She is now seen as deeply thoughtful, mature, and principled. Do you remember Demi Lovato? Wait until you see her today. Demi Lovato first rose to fame as a Disney Channel star, appearing in Camp Rock and Sunny with a Chance. Over the years, her powerful voice and raw emotional songs made her a pop icon. But behind the scenes, she struggled with mental issues. Addiction and eating disorders have been recurring parts of her journey. Lovato has openly shared that she's been to inpatient treatment 5 times. She has bipolar disorder and has discussed how hard it was to feel defeated during treatment. In interviews, she emphasizes that being vulnerable is part of her healing. She's very intentional about using her platform, and she wants to destigmatize mental health, especially for young people. Demi co-directed a Hulu documentary called Child Star, where she reflects deeply on her childhood, the pressures of fame, and how she disassociated during hard times. Her public narrative has shifted. She's no longer just processing trauma in her music, but she's choosing joy. In her own words, she's found strength in little things in life and building relationships with her treatment team. In May 2025, Demi married songwriter Jordan Jutes Lutz in a private emotional ceremony in California. In her wedding announcement and interviews, she talked about how Jutes is grounding for her and someone she loves deeply and feels safe with. According to Demi, she's no longer writing to heal trauma, she's writing from a place of happiness. Fans have noticed a noticeable transformation in her appearance, face, build, sparking conversation and speculation. Some media outlets and fans have speculated about weight loss through various means. Whether or not that's confirmed publicly, Demi has said that her journey with food and body image continues to be a deeply personal part of her recovery. Do you remember Lindsay Lohan? Her comeback will amaze you. After years of a very public life like child stardom, early fame, and tabloid controversies, Lohan took a long break from acting. She said that returning to set felt refreshingly exciting, especially with projects like the Netflix holiday movie Falling for Christmas. Part of her return was manifested, and she told Elle that during COVID, she kept writing in her journal that she wanted to work with Netflix again and eventually landed a multi-picture deal. Lohan starred in 3 Netflix romantic comedies as part of her comeback, like Falling for Christmas 2022, Irish Wish 2024, and Our Little Secret 2024. In 2025, Lohan stars in Freakier Friday, a sequel to the 2003 hit Freaky Friday. She reprises her role as Anna Coleman, now a grown-up single mom. The film premiered in July 2025 and was released theatrically in August. Lohan said making this movie felt easy and fresh. Lohan launched her own beauty skincare line, working on designing serums, and she's very hands-on and particular about her skin health. It's not just a nostalgia return. Lohan seems more grounded and more intentional. Her work reflects her growth, not just her past. She is successfully juggling acting, motherhood, and entrepreneurship, demonstrating her self-reinvention in her own unique way. Her ambition is clear, and she's not just reliving her 10-star glory. She's looking forward to new challenges, deeper roles, and building a lasting legacy. Do you remember Hilary Duff? Take a deep breath before seeing her now. Hilary Duff rose to fame as Lizzie McGuire on the Disney Channel, becoming one of the defining teen icons of the early 2000s. Over the years, she's built a multifaceted career in acting, music, and business. She's also a mom as of 2025. She has 4 children. After a decade away from releasing original music, Hilary Duff officially returned in 2025. She signed a new record deal with Atlantic Records. On November 6, 2025, she dropped a new single called Mature, marking her first single in 10 years. This song is emotionally reflective, and in interviews, she said she needed 10 years of life under her belt before she felt ready to release something new. According to Forbes, Mature is already charting. Alongside her music return, she's working on a documentary series that will document her journey of balancing family, recording, and her creative rebirth. This isn't just a musical comeback, but it's a deeply personal chapter, showing how she's grown, changed, and reconciled her past and present. She's not just focusing on music, but on her Wikipedia page. It's noted she's starring in and executive producing a new drama series, Pretty Ugly, for Hulu, based on a novel. Hilary's balancing her career return with family life, showing she can do it all like motherhood, acting, and music. She announced a mini-tour titled Small Rooms, Big Nerves, which is set to begin in January 2026. This will be her first tour in over a decade, which is a big deal for fans who grew up watching her. In talking about her new single, she said that the older Hilary is talking to her younger self, acknowledging growth, mistakes, and the journey. Through this comeback, she's being intentional, and she waited until she felt safe creatively and emotionally. Her recent work is resonating with longtime fans who grew up with her, like millennial nostalgia plus real adult authenticity. Do you remember Rihanna? You won't believe her now. Rihanna revealed her 3rd pregnancy at the 2025 Met Gala, and the couple later welcomed their 3rd child. With 2 sons already, Arzier and Riot, this new baby marks another big chapter of her life. Her motherhood seems to be a central theme now. It's influencing her public image, fashion, and how she balances her empire. After years of relative musical quiet, Rihanna released a new song in 2025, Friend of Mine, which is part of the Smurfs movie soundtrack. She's also involved in the film and is producing and voicing Smurfette. There's long-anticipated talk about her 9th studio album, R9, which fans have been waiting for a while. Rihanna remains a powerhouse entrepreneur, and her Fenty Beauty, Savage X Fenty, and Fenty Hair continue to be major parts of her work. But 2025 hasn't been totally smooth, as her net worth has reportedly dropped 30%, largely due to challenges with her beauty and lingerie businesses. Despite that, she's still a major figure. Rihanna revealed she didn't drink at all in 2024, calling it a New Year, New Me moment. In a recent podcast, she opened up about struggling with her natural hair and how that inspired her to launch Fenty Hair, but it's more than just business. It's personal. She's teasing the return of Savage X Fenty fashion show with a refreshed message, new collections, and a rebrand around what the brand stands for. On the style front, Rihanna is leaning into powerful, bold looks again, but her public appearances now blend fashion-forward parenting with her signature glam. Rihanna in 2025 looks less like she's on hiatus and more like she's carefully recalibrating. Her empire isn't just music, but it's beauty, fashion, and motherhood. She's clearly balancing her identity as a mogul and a mom, showing that her priorities have shifted, but her ambition hasn't. Do you remember Britney Spears? What she looks like today is surprising. Britney recently reactivated her Instagram account after a brief disappearance. In her post, she expressed reflection and vulnerability, writing about how so much has happened this year, and speaking about owning her boundaries. On another post, she opened up about one of her hardest periods, like being separated from her sons for years, feeling trauma, and saying that now she feels hungry again like a child. Her recent fashion Instagram posts have leaned into a very raw, sensual energy, and she shared images wearing a black slip and red thong. She's experimenting with bold performance art style fashion, according to some commentators, combining micro shorts, ruffled tops, and very dramatic eyeliner. Fans on Reddit note she looks more like herself again, more relaxed, with a softer, more genuine smile. There is growing concern among some that her behavior might reflect deeper issues. A source quoted by Music Times says that a true comeback in music could be difficult given her current mental state. Her family has reportedly expressed fears of her well-being and, according to some reports, her living situation has raised alarm, with claims her home is messy and that she does not always take care of daily responsibilities. She's been open about physical health, too. Britney recently said she's been sick with a cold for an extended period, leaving her tired, fuzzy-headed. In her recent posts, she reflects on trauma from past relationships, almost felt like a fake distraction, and her journey to healing through self-acceptance. She's also talking more openly about the emotional wounds left by her conservatorship and how she's trying to own her body and let them really know where I'm from. Do you remember Shakira? Take a look at her now. Shakira Isabel Mubarak Ripoll was born on February 2, 1977 in Barranquilla, Colombia. She's known as a singer, songwriter, dancer, and multi-genre musician who gained international fame after her crossover into English-language pop in the early 2000s. Her 12th studio album, Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran, was released on March 22, 2024. The album spans a variety of genres like pop, rock, Afrobeats, electropop, bachata, regional Mexican, cumbia, etc. Thematically, it reflects her personal journey, including her widely publicized breakup with Gerard Piqué. Shakira won Best Latin Pop Album at the 2025 Grammy Awards for Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran. During her acceptance speech, she dedicated the award to immigrants and hardworking women, calling them the true she-wolves. She also reflected on her personal growth since her breakup with Piqué, saying, "Life hasn't always been kind, but it's been a good teacher." She referenced her 2009 hit She-Wolf during that speech. The She-Wolf is still here. In 2025, Shakira embarked on the Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran World Tour. The tour started on February 11, 2025, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It's a large stadium tour, her first in 7 years since the El Dorado World Tour. As of October 2025, with 64 shows, The tour became the highest-grossing Latin tour ever made by a female artist. In mid-February 2025, while on tour in Peru, Shakira was hospitalized with an abdominal issue and forced to cancel her Lima concert. She publicly apologized to fans, saying she was very sad to miss the show, and she said her doctors had deemed her unfit to perform. Her team expressed that they planned to reschedule the canceled concert. The following day, she resumed the tour in Lima after being discharged. Do you remember Natalie Portman? Her transformation is stunning. Natalie Portman entered the spotlight at age 12 with Leon, the Professional, 1994. Even as a child actor, she cultivated a reputation for intelligence, discipline, and maturity, avoiding typical Hollywood pitfalls. By the late 90s, she balanced roles in films like Beautiful Girls, 1996, and Star Wars Episode I: The Phantom Menace, 1999, with exceptional academic performances. Portman famously attended Harvard University, earning a psychology degree while filming major projects. During this time, she solidified her place as a serious performer with roles in Closer, 2004, and Garden State, 2004. Her transformation here was a young prodigy becoming an intellectual, self-directed woman, which was rare in Hollywood at the time. Her bold physical transformation for V for Vendetta, 2006, symbolized creative fearlessness. She became a global fashion figure through her partnership with Dior. By 2010, she took full creative control of complicated roles, culminating in the psychological masterpiece Black Swan, 2010. Portman won the Academy Award for Best Actress for Black Swan, solidifying her position as one of Hollywood's most respected talents. She married French dancer and choreographer Benjamin Millepied and embraced a more private, stable life. During this time, she grew into roles showcasing emotional depth like Thor, 2011, and Jackie, 2016, earning another Oscar nomination. She underwent a transformation from a rising star to an elite award-winning actress and mother. She expanded behind the camera with projects like A Tale of Love and Darkness. She became an outspoken advocate for gender equality, women's rights, and representation in film. In this period, she evolved into a powerful cultural voice and not just a performer. Do you remember Jennifer Lawrence? This is her today. In April 2025, Jennifer Lawrence welcomed her second child with her husband, Cook Maroney. She and Maroney already have a son, Cy, born in 2022. Since becoming a mom of two, Jennifer has become more selective about her work, prioritizing roles that align with her family life. She opened up publicly about severe postpartum anxiety after her second child. At the 2025 Cannes Film Festival, Lawrence described postpartum depression as extremely isolating, calling the feelings her character goes through in her latest film very real. She also said that having children has changed her creativity and she feels more emotional and sensitive, and parenthood deeply influences how she approaches acting. Her 2025 film, Die My Love, directed by Lynn Ramsey, premiered at Cannes. In the movie, she plays Grace, a mother in rural Montana struggling with postpartum depression and psychosis. Lawrence revealed she was 5 months pregnant during filming. She also served as a producer on the film through her company, Excellent Cadaver. Her appearance at Cannes 2025 was widely noted, and it was her first major red carpet outing since the new baby, and she looked very composed and elegant. At Cannes, she and her husband, Cook Maroney, showed PDA, signaling that even with a newborn, she's balancing public life and family. Lawrence framed the choice matter-of-factly, discussing how her changing body, especially as an actor, factors into her decisions. In addition to acting, Jennifer continues producing with her production company, Excellent Cadaver, backing Die My Love. She seems to be choosing emotionally rich, complex roles rather than blockbuster churn, suggesting a shift toward more thoughtful and personal projects. Do you remember Anne Hathaway? Her look now might shock you. At the Ralph Lauren Fall 2025 fashion show, Anne Hathaway drew attention for her remarkably smooth, youthful face, sparking social media buzz. Her look at the 2025 Met Gala was sleek and powerful, and she wore her hair in a high ponytail and opted for a tailored Carolina Herrera ensemble, a nod to classic tailoring. Some speculated about cosmetic work or facial fillers, though she hasn't publicly confirmed such claims. While filming The Devil Wears Prada 2, set to release May 1, 2026, Hathaway was spotted with red highlights in her hair. Her character, Andy Sachs's 2025 wardrobe, reflects her evolution, like tailored pinstriped outfits, a refined silhouette, and elevated professionalism. Hathaway is reprising her iconic role as Andy Sachs nearly 20 years after the original. The sequel brings back Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci. Her Andy Sachs 2025 photo, posted on Instagram, confirms her strong return to the character. On set, she reportedly told paparazzi to relax, there are children on set today, showing a more grounded, no-nonsense side. Hathaway has spoken out against society's obsession with aging, calling it personal, and saying she feels better at 40-something than in her 20s. She also shared that after her pregnancies, getting back to her pre-baby body wasn't realistic. She emphasized the importance of patience and self-care, stating, "There's nowhere to get to, it's just now." Some critics, however, have speculated about cosmetic procedures, pointing to her more taut jawline or fuller lips. Do you remember Kristen Stewart? You have to see her now. At the 2025 Cannes Film Festival, Kristen debuted striking new hair styled in a messy high bun and paired this bold look with a pink Chanel outfit that embraced Barbie-core glam. Stewart made her directorial debut in 2025 with The Chronology of Water, adapted from Lydia Yunukvich's memoir. Strong reactions greeted the film's Cannes premiere, which was an important turning point in her evolving career. Her creative voice is clearly maturing, and she co-wrote the film. It deals with trauma, addiction, and healing. Kristen married screenwriter Dylan Meyer in April 2025. Her boldness in style and career reflects a personal renaissance, and she's clearly embracing who she is now, not just a former Twilight star. She's not only directing, but also exploring other forms of art. For example, she collaborated with Lord Huron on the song Who Laughs Last and appeared in its music video. By staying creative across mediums, she's broadening her identity to not just be an actor, but a multifaceted artist. Her style switches, hair, fashion, feel intentional, not just for shock value. They reflect a woman who's unafraid to redefine herself. Her directorial work suggests she's willing to explore deep, uncomfortable, personal themes. Do you remember Blake Lively? Prepare yourself before seeing her today. In 2025, Blake Lively was named one of Time's 100 most influential people, earning a Titan title. She used her Time 100 gala speech to deliver a powerful message, and she revealed for the first time that her mother survived a violent attack, calling it a silent torch of womanhood. In the same speech, she thanked her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and highlighted her journey toward using her voice. Lively has said that having children has made her feel more in her skin and more confident in her body. She has emphasized that family is at the root of her creative work. Her non-alcoholic mixer brand, Betty Buzz, reflects that she designs for her life, not just for show. In interviews, she talks about balancing career and motherhood, especially advocating for children's safety. For fall 2025, Blake embraced the chill flake red trend, wearing a full leather look in that hue, corset, shirt dress, matching bag, and crimson stilettos. Her style has matured from early Gossip Girl glam to more tailored, sophisticated, but still playful and personal fashion. Reports suggest that Blake and Ryan Reynolds are scaling back on high-profile work in 2025, choosing to focus more on their family. Despite staying low-key, she's still very much alive, balancing her family, business, and public platforms. Blake filed a lawsuit in December 2024 against Justin Baldoni, her co-star and the director of It Ends With Us, accusing him of harassment and retaliation. In turn, Baldoni countersued her for $400 million, alleging defamation and extortion. In June 2025, she withdrew her claims for emotional distress, intentional and negligent infliction, but her core claims remain. Do you remember Megan Fox? Her current look is jaw-dropping. Megan Fox recently said goodbye to her pink hair era, February to April 2024, and revealed a bold new sapphire smoke pale blue bob, which she nicknamed her Jedi era. But that didn't last forever. In May 2025, she ditched the blue and returned to dark brown hair, cutting her hair into a flipped bob with bangs again. In October 2025, Meghan made a rare public appearance at a screening of Jennifer's Body, wearing a gown adorned with red crystals that looked like dripping blood, which is a direct homage to her character in the film. She completed the look with a red choker, dark nails, and PVC heels, which was very gothic, very theatrical, and very Meghan. This was one of her first major outings since welcoming her daughter, Sega Blade, in March 2025. Her manicure choice is attracting attention. She opted for hot pink nails adorned with 2 chrome metal studs, a provocative design that subtly references a Prince Albert piercing. Her overall style feels like a deliberate mix of soft and sharp, like too pretty to be purely gothic but edgy enough to push fashion boundaries. Meghan has spoken publicly about body dysmorphia, admitting she often doesn't see herself the way others do. She says she's on a never-ending journey of self-acceptance, wishing people would see her rainbow aura instead of just her body. That vulnerability feeds into her current transformation. It's not just changing her look, but reshaping how she presents herself. Do you remember Jessica Alba? Look what she's become now. In 2025, Jessica Alba announced her split from longtime husband Cash Warren after 16 years of marriage. She framed the separation as part of a deep personal transformation, a journey to self-realization and transformation, she wrote in a public statement. Despite the breakup, she emphasizes co-parenting and their 3 children remain her priority. She's been romantically linked to actor Danny Ramirez as of late 2025. Jessica founded The Honest Company in 2012, which is a wellness consumer products brand focused on clean, sustainable goods. In April 2024, she stepped down as Chief Creative Officer of Honest, saying she'd redirect her creative energy to new projects. She remains deeply involved, though she's still on the company's board of directors. In 2025, they reported strong revenue and good financials, showing the business she built is still thriving. She also made a big stock move in late 2025. She sold 465,000 shares of Honest for about $3.5 million, though she still holds a significant stake. Jessica continues to make fashion-forward appearances. For example, in March 2025, she was spotted at Paris Fashion Week in a sharp white power suit with sculptural shoulders. She's maintaining a polished, mature beauty look, like glowing skin, soft waves, and a style that's both elegant and effortless. According to social commentary, she still looks decades younger than her age, and many attribute it to her consistent skincare habits, healthy lifestyle, and genetics. In her public reflections, Jessica has discussed self-worth and healing, while she posted on her birthday in 2025 about wanting to feel seen and accepted even as she lets go of perfection. Do you remember Lady Gaga? Her transformation will leave you speechless. In early 2025, Gaga debuted platinum blonde hair and completely bleached eyebrows, a stark contrast to many of her past looks. Her latest hairstyle is even more experimental, and she's been seen with a green-tinged curly bob, giving off Joker-like vibes. At the 2025 Grammys, she leaned into a gothic chic aesthetic with all black leather, long dark hair, and heavy gold jewelry. Gaga released her 7th solo studio album, Mayhem, on March 7, 2025. She describes the album as a reinvention of her early sound, like chaotic, raw, and deeply personal. In interviews, she admitted that Mayhem was about reassembling a shattered mirror, creating something beautiful and whole in a new way. Lady Gaga has been open about her mental health journey. She revealed that she's battled panic attacks, especially before shows, and that her fiancé, Michael Polanski, helps her cope. She said making Mayhem helped her find herself again. The album is also about embracing her demons instead of running from them. Her 2025 Mayhem Ball Tour began on July 16, 2025, and was staged like a theatrical production, complete with visual storytelling, costuming, and large-scale narrative acts. Gaga also performed a series of Art of Personal Chaos shows, which leaned into opera-like drama, dark aesthetics, and psychological themes. She played Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro in May 2025, a powerful return to Brazil after previous health struggles. In a 2025 interview, Gaga insisted that she doesn't just want to be remembered for eye-catching outfits, like the meat dress, but also as a real artist, songwriter, producer, and musician. As of 2025 iHeartRadio Music Awards, she called out ageism in the music industry, and she defended her right to remain relevant and powerful in her late 30s. Do you remember Katy Perry? Take a deep breath before seeing her now. In July 2025, Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom officially confirmed their split, stating that they are shifting to focus on co-parenting their daughter, Daisy Dove. According to insiders, Katy is adjusting to a new role as a single mom. She's making conscious decisions to support her daughter's routine, and as for her Lifetime tour, she's planning earlier evening shows to align with Daisy's schedule. Katy released her seventh studio album, 143, in September 2024. The lead single from the album, Woman's World, dropped in July 2024. She says the past year has been a roller coaster and recently stated she's done forcing her career, hinting at a more organic, less stressed creative approach going forward. Katy launched her Lifetime tour in 2025. It was her first major world tour in years. The show is highly theatrical, and she describes it as a sci-fi hopeful video game world where she's half human, half machine, battling AI to restore butterflies. Despite her busy touring schedule, she's prioritizing motherhood by structuring her tour around her daughter's needs. According to reports, Katy has lost around 20 pounds and is feeling very confident in her body. A source says Orlando was a big motivator, helping push her into a healthier routine. But the transformation isn't just about looks, and she's been very open about her emotional journey, the burden of career highs and lows, and what her success means now as a parent and artist. After her split, she posted warm, joyful photos from her tour in Australia, including playful moments with her daughter, signaling a mix of healing and resilience. However, some insiders and fans say there's a deeper emotional toll, but sources suggest she's done forcing things, and there's a sense she's grappling with redefining her place in music and life. Do you remember Sofia Vergara? You won't believe her today. Sofia Margarita Vergara was born on July 10, 1972, in Barranquilla, Colombia. Her mother was a homemaker and her father was a cattle rancher. She was nicknamed Toti by her siblings. She began working on Spanish-language television and hosted shows on Univision, which helped her gain recognition. Over time, she transitioned from modeling and hosting into acting. In 1998, her older brother Rafael was tragically murdered. Sofia got concerned about safety and immigrated to the United States, settling in Miami. She later became a naturalized U.S. citizen. Vergara's big breakthrough came in 2009 when she was cast as Gloria Delgado Pritchett on the ABC sitcom Modern Family. The show was a massive hit, running for 11 seasons and ending in 2020. For her performance, she earned 4 consecutive Emmy nominations, 2010 to 13, for Outstanding Supporting Actress. She was also nominated for Golden Globe Awards, underscoring her crossover appeal. Beyond acting, Sofia has built a strong business profile. She co-founded Latin World Entertainment, a talent management and marketing company. She has launched product lines, including a clothing line through Walmart and a furniture line. She's done major endorsements, Diet Pepsi, Head & Shoulders, over the years. In 2024, she took on a dramatic role very different from her Gloria persona, and she starred as Griselda Blanco, the infamous Colombian drug cartel leader, in the Netflix miniseries Griselda. Her performance was well received, and she was nominated for an Emmy 2024 for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited Series or Movie. In 2025, she continues to expand her entrepreneurial footprint, for instance, launching a new apparel line with Walmart. Do you remember Reese Witherspoon? Her evolution is incredible. Reese Witherspoon was born on March 22, 1976 in New Orleans, Louisiana, but grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. Her father was a military doctor and her mother a nurse. She started acting very young at 14. She made her film debut in The Man in the Moon, 1991. After high school, she briefly attended Stanford University, English Literature, but left to pursue acting full-time. In the mid-1990s, she took on edgier roles, like starring in Freeway, 1996, which helped her show she could carry darker, more complex parts. By the late 90s, she was in films like Pleasantville, 1988, and Cruel Intentions, 1999, establishing herself as a versatile young talent. Her portrayal of Tracy Flick in Election, 1999, garnered significant praise, showcasing her comedic skills and ambition. Legally Blonde, 2001, was a huge turning point for Reese. As Elle Woods, Reese became a cultural icon. She reprised Elle Woods in Legally Blonde 2. She earned an Academy Award for Best Actress, Walk the Line, 2005. In 2016, she founded Hello Sunshine, a media company focused on woman-driven stories across TV, film, and digital platforms. Under Hello Sunshine, she launched Reese's Book Club, leveraging her platform to highlight books, especially by women, that often get adapted. The company had major hits like Big Little Lies. She's further expanding her creativity, and she's co-written her first novel with best-selling author Harlan Coben, marking a move into fiction writing. In a 2025 interview, she reflected on how anxiety and perfectionism have driven her, calling them both a career advantage. She also spoke about her 50th birthday in 2026. Do you remember Salma Hayek? Her look now will amaze you. Salma Hayek Jimenez was born on September 2, 1966, in Coaxacoalcos, Veracruz. Her parents were well-educated and affluent, while her father was an oil company executive and her mother an opera singer. Hayek became a star in Mexico with the hit telenovela Teresa, 1989. The show made her a national sensation and proved she had leading lady charisma. Despite her success, she wanted to break into Hollywood, which was a nearly impossible challenge for a Spanish-speaking actress at the time. She moved to Los Angeles in 1991 with limited English and little industry support. She studied acting intensively and faced casting barriers due to her accent and ethnicity. Meeting director Robert Rodriguez, who recognized her potential, was an important turning point in her career. In 1995, Hayek landed her breakout Hollywood role in Desperado opposite Antonio Banderas. Following From Dusk Until Dawn, 1996, her snake dance cameo became iconic. She took more varied roles in Fools Rush In, 1977, and Wild Wild West, 1999, becoming one of the first Latin actresses to gain consistent mainstream success in the U.S. Hayek became increasingly known for her activism with women's rights, anti-domestic violence advocacy, and humanitarian work with UNICEF. She launched her own beauty line and became a major voice for diversity in Hollywood. She married French businessman François-Henri Pinault, CEO of Kering, parent company of Gucci, Balenciaga, etc., with whom she had a daughter. Hayek surprised audiences by taking major roles in blockbuster franchises like Marvel Eternals 2021, House of Gucci 2021, and Magic Mike's Last Dance 2023. Do you remember Angelina Jolie? Take a look at her today. Angelina Jolie was born on June 4, 1975 in Los Angeles. Her father is actor Jon Voight, and her mother, Marceline Bertrand, is also in the entertainment business. As a child, she appeared in a film alongside her father, Looking to Get Out, when she was very young. She studied acting, like attending the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute, and later drama in school. Her first big movie roles came in the 1990s, including Hackers, 1995, and she gained critical attention through TV films in George Wallace, 1997, and Gia, 1998. She has long been a humanitarian and was appointed a UNHCR, United Nations Refugee Agency, Goodwill Ambassador. She has visited war zones and refugee camps in many countries. In 2021, she starred in Eternals, Marvel, as Thena. She acted in Those Who Wished Me Dead, 2021. As a director, she wrote and directed Without Blood, 2024, which is a war drama based on an Italian novel. Also in 2025, she is working on Anxious People, a film adaptation starring her, directed by Mark Forster. In 2025, Jolie visited Kherson, Ukraine, meeting with medical staff and civilians in dangerous conditions. She celebrated her 50th birthday, June 2025, with an intimate gathering with her 6 children. She continues to speak out about global conflicts, refugees, and humanitarian crises. Jolie still was an iconic, striking beauty, and she's known for looking graceful and strong, with a more mature, elegant presence now. She carries herself with poise and calm, while her red carpet style and public appearances reflect confidence rather than showiness. Her look today is less about glamour for glamour's sake, and more about purpose, combining her status as a Hollywood icon with her mission as a humanitarian. Do you remember Jennifer Lopez? What she looks like now is incredible. Jennifer Lynn Lopez was born on July 24, 1969, in the Bronx, New York, to a Puerto Rican family. She started as a dancer, appearing as a fly girl on the sketch comedy show In Living Color. Her first small film role came in My Little Girl, 1986. In the late 1990s, she transitioned into music with her debut album, On the Six, which made her a pop star. Around the same time, she juggled her acting career, appearing in films and building her brand. Over the years, she has released several albums and become a triple threat as a singer, actor, and dancer. Jennifer has had a very public personal life, including her high-profile relationship with Ben Affleck. She has children and talked about balancing her career and family in interviews. In February 2024, she released This Is Me Now, her first studio album in a decade. She returned to touring in 2025. She launched her Up All Night live tour across Europe. She is starring in a big new role in Kiss of the Spider-Woman, 2025, a musical film playing the character Ingrid Luna, Spider-Woman. In her upcoming projects, she's also set to co-produce and star in more Netflix content, including a film adaptation of The Cypher and a series for Happy Place. At the 2025 Governors Awards, she wore a striking Tamara Ralph couture gown with opera gloves, which was very glamorous and bold. During her 2025 tour, she performed in a sparkly silver bodysuit and over-the-knee boots, showing she still has command of her physical presence and stage persona. She stayed relevant for decades, starting as a dancer, becoming a pop star and actor, and now headlining major musical films again. Her style and image keep evolving, and she's not stuck in her 2000s look, but instead embraces bold, theatrical, and age-appropriate glamour. She's powerful on multiple fronts, like music, film, fashion, and business. Do you remember Beyoncé? Brace yourself before seeing her today. Beyoncé Giselle Knowles was born on September 4, 1981 in Houston, Texas. She first rose to fame as a member of Destiny's Child, one of the best-selling girl groups ever. Moving into her solo career, she became a pop R&B powerhouse with albums like Dangerously in Love. Beyoncé is known for reinventing her sound. Her 2022 album, Renaissance, leans into dance, disco, and house. Her artistic vision is always evolving, but not just with pop or R&B. She is pushing boundaries and exploring different genres. In 2024, she released Cowboy Carter, a bold country-inspired album. At the 2025 Grammys, she won Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter. She also won Best Country Album, becoming one of the first Black women to achieve the honor in that category. Beyoncé confirmed her Cowboy Carter tour for 2025. Her tour fashion is already creating buzz, like at her opening show, SoFi Stadium, April 2025. She wore a custom muggler with a bodysuit and 1,740 pieces of fringe, plus a cowboy hat. The tour's costume design leans heavily toward Western style, mixing fringe, couture, and bold silhouettes. At New York Fashion Week, she stunned in a Gaurav Gupta couture bodysuit, paired with high boots, which looked futuristic yet glamorous. Her style today continues to mix her music identity, country, Western, with high fashion statements. Beyoncé earned her first Primetime Emmy for her costume design on her Netflix halftime show special, Beyoncé Bowl, moving her partway toward EGOT status. She's not just a singer, she's a cultural architect. Her Cowboy Carter era is showing her as fearless, genre-defiant, and deeply intentional. On stage and off, she blends strength and femininity, while commanding in her outfits but also grounded in her personal story and family life. Her look now is more than just beauty, but it's era-defining, like she's crafting a visual identity for this moment in her career. Do you remember Charlize Theron? You won't believe her transformation. Charlize Theron was born on August 7, 1975, in Benoni, South Africa. She grew up speaking Afrikaans before learning English. She trained as a ballet dancer, studying at the Jeffrey Ballet School in New York. A knee injury ended her dance career, pushing her toward acting. At 19, she was discovered after a talent agent noticed her during an argument in a bank, which was a famous Hollywood origin story. Early roles include 2 Days in the Valley, 1996, and The Devil's Advocate, 1997, the film that made her widely known. In the 2010s, Theron transformed again, becoming one of Hollywood's top female action leads. She founded Denver and Delilah Productions, championing female-led filmmaking. Charlize advocated for women's rights, LGBTQ+ causes, and HIV/AIDS awareness, especially in Africa. She is also the mother of 2 daughters, adopted in 2012 and 2015. Even in her late 40s, Charlize continues to take on transformational roles. Some of the recent major projects include The Old Guard, 2020, and F9, 2021. Charlize Theron's transformation today is remarkable, not because of drastic changes, but because of how powerfully she reinvents herself for every era and is still known for her athletic build, especially thanks to ongoing action roles. She appears stronger, edgier, and more empowered than ever, as her transformation is one of confidence, reinvention, and creative independence. Do you remember Keira Knightley? Her evolution will surprise you. Keira Knightley began her career in acting at just 6. She appeared in small TV roles in the 1990s, building early experience. At just 14, she played Sabe, Natalie Portman's decoy in Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace, 1999. Her resemblance to Portman was so striking the crew sometimes confused them. Keira continued working in British TV films and youth dramas, gaining attention for her poise and screen presence. Her breakout role came as tomboy soccer player Julie Paxton at age 17. At 18, she starred as Elizabeth Swann in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, 2003. The franchise exploded into a global phenomenon, turning her into a household name. She reprised the role in Dead Man's Chest, 2006, and at World's End, 2007. Despite the fame, she often spoke about struggling with media intrusion and pressure at a young age. This was the period when critics began taking her very seriously. In 2005, she played Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice, which earned her her first Academy Award nomination. Her evolution here is from blockbuster starlet to prestige drama actress with emotional depth and literary sophistication. Knightley increasingly chose character-driven, quieter, and more mature roles. She starred in Anna Karenina, 2012, Begin Again, 2013, and The Imitation Game, 2014. She married musician James Wrighton in 2013. Keira became a mother in 2015 and in 2019. She publicly discussed how motherhood changed her priorities, such as avoiding paparazzi and emphasizing work-life balance. Keira Knightley's transformation today is subtle, refined, and deeply grounded, which is not shocking, but sophisticated and powerful. Do you remember Alicia Keys? Prepare to be amazed by her today. Alicia Aguelo Cook was born on January 25, 1981, in Manhattan, New York. She began performing very young and sang by the age of 4 and started classic piano training around the age of 7. At the age of 14, she began composing her own music, and by her mid-teens, she attended the Professional Performing Arts School in New York as a valedictorian. When she was about 15, she signed with Columbia Records but eventually moved to J Records after some disputes under Clive Davis. Alicia released her debut album, Songs in a Minor, in 2001. The album was a massive success, and it sold over 10 million copies worldwide, some sources say more, and earned her 5 Grammy Awards. The lead single, Fallen, became a signature song and helped cement her as a rising star. Her second album, The Diary of Alicia Keys, came out in 2003 and continued her critical and commercial success. It featured mature, soulful songwriting, blending classic R&B with modern influences. She also collaborated with Usher on the duet My Boo, which became a Billboard Hot 100 #1. Alicia Keys co-created a semi-autobiographical musical titled Hell's Kitchen, inspired by her upbringing in Manhattan's Hell Kitchen. The show premiered on Broadway at the Shubert Theater, officially opening on April 20, 2024. At the 77th Tony Awards, June 16, 2024, Hell's Kitchen received 13 nominations, leading the pack. Alicia made a surprise onstage appearance at the Tonys, performing Empire State of Mind with her piano, with Jay-Z joining via video. In 2025, Hell's Kitchen won the Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album. Also in 2025, September, she made her Broadway debut during special encore sessions after Hell's Kitchen performances, performing for the first time in a Broadway show as herself. Do you remember Viola Davis? Take a deep breath before seeing her now. Viola Davis was born on August 11, 1965, in St. Matthews, South Carolina, but grew up in Central Falls, Rhode Island, in a family that faced severe financial hardship. Her childhood was marked by poverty, and her parents held low-wage jobs. Her father worked at racetracks, and her mother worked in factories and domestic work, and the family dealt with food insecurity. Even as a child, she turned to acting and participating in school theater and performances. In 2011, Davis starred in The Help, playing Abilene Clark, a black maid in 1960s Mississippi. Her performance was deeply emotional and critically acclaimed. Around the same time, she continued her theater work. In 2010, just before The Help, she won another Tony Award for playing Rose Maxson in Fences, opposite Denzel Washington. She starred as Annalise Keating in How to Get Away with Murder, 2014 to 2020. In 2015, she won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series for that role, making history as the first black woman to win in that category. In 2020, she starred in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, based on Austin Wilson's play, alongside Chadwick Boseman, and her performance was widely praised. She also co-founded Juvie Productions with her husband, Julius Tenon, which is a production company focused on telling stories that matter, especially for underrepresented voices. In 2025, she was honored with the Cecil B. DeMille Award at the Golden Globes, which is a recognition of her lifetime achievement and her impact on film and television. Do you remember Sandra Bullock? Her look today is stunning. Sandra Annette Bullock was born on July 26, 1964 in Arlington, Virginia. Her mother, Helga Meyer, was a German opera singer, and her father, John Bullock, was a voice teacher and part of the U.S. Army. She spent part of her childhood in Nuremberg, Germany, and Austria, which shaped her early experiences and gave her fluency in German. For education, she studied drama at East Carolina University and later moved to New York to train at the Neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater. Sandra made her film debut in the late 1980s, Hangment, in 1987. She gained early attention in the 1990s with supporting roles like in Demolition Man, 1993, before her huge breakout, Speed, 1994. In 2022, Sandra starred in The Lost City, action-adventure comedy with Channing Tatum and Brad Pitt. She is also producing and acting in Practical Magic 2, the long-awaited sequel to the 1998 cult classic. Sandra has adopted 2 children. Her longtime partner, Brian Randall, passed away in August 2023. In October 2024, she made one of her first major public appearances since his death at the 30th anniversary screening of Speed, showing strength, poise, and grace. There are reports she took a step back from acting to focus more on family life. Sandra Bullock has remained relevant across decades, from 90s action and rom-coms to big-budget dramas and comedy blockbusters. Her natural charisma, warm screen presence, and versatility as an actress continue to resonate. Off-screen, she's admired not only for her talent, but also for her resilience, generosity, and grounded persona. Do you remember Liz Carr? Take a deep breath before seeing her now. Liz Carr was born on the 21st of April, 1972, in Port Sunlight, Cheshire. As a child, around age 7, she was diagnosed with arthrogryposis multiplex congenita, AMC, a rare condition that affects her joints and muscles. She has used a wheelchair since she was 11. Despite her physical challenges, she pursued education and studied law at the University of Nottingham. After university, Liz worked in disability equality training and began her activism for disability rights. She discovered her comedic side. Like in 2001, she co-founded a sketch group called Nasty Girls. She also performed in disability-centered shows, like she was part of Abnormally Funny People. Liz has spoken about dealing with anxiety, especially rooted in her childhood, and she was often told by doctors she might not live long and that huge anxiety still lingers. In 2017, she and her personal assistant were attacked by a man armed with scissors. In terms of her personal life, in 2010, she entered into a civil partnership with her longtime partner, Joe Church, in a very celebratory and symbolic ceremony. In 2024, Liz Carr wrote and presented a documentary called Better Off Dead, which aired on BBC One. Liz Carr continues to push for better societal support, not just for the medical question of dying. Her activism emphasizes that society should support disabled people to live fully rather than facilitate early death. She is vocal about the need for more representation for disabled people in media, theater, and public life. Thanks for watching Past Paradise, where Hollywood legends come home. If you enjoyed today's look into the topic, do you remember her? Take a deep breath before looking at her now. Then don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Got a star or story you want next? Drop it in the comments. Until then, keep nostalgia alive, only on Past Paradise.